Welcome back. Michelle Gribble-Dates here, creator of Story and Stretch, Narrative Yoga for Kids, and author of Story and Stretch, a guide to teaching kids yoga using seasonal stories. I want to give you a quick intro to the yoga games section of the Story and Stretch book. And I decided that yoga games would be the first section of the book that I would do a video intro for you on, even though it's one of the last sections in the actual book. Because when I originally created Story and Stretch, I rarely included games in the sessions. And then over time, I realized how important playing yoga games is for the children. It allows them to build social skills, to balance their energy, increase body awareness and creativity, and just relieve stress and anxiety and tension that they might be coming to the class with. And while there are still times, even now, years later, that I don't include a yoga game in a particular session, I've realized that it can be a very important element of a class for the reasons that I just mentioned and more. So most of the games in the book, you will recognize them as popular games most kids already know, but with a yoga twist. So games like 1, 2, 3 Yoga Tree, and Cat, Cat, Cobra, and Yogi Says, and musical mats. They're easy for the kids to grasp and start having fun with immediately because they're already familiar with the basic premise of the game. Now that's not true for all of the games in the Story and Stretch book, but for many of them. So I would encourage you to be mindful as to when is the best time to play a game during your Story and Stretch session. For some groups, it's best to play at the beginning of the class as a way to help the kids sort of transition from whatever they were just doing to this very special and unique experience of practicing intentional breathing and mindfulness and meditation and yoga through a story. But then some groups may have an overall better experience throughout the class if a yoga game is played at the end. But instead of worrying about when is the right time to play a yoga game, just have an attitude of curiosity and experiment with it. Try it at different times during a session, a few weeks in a row, and just see how the class responds. I would also like to mention that while I believe a certain amount of competition benefits kids, a yoga class is not an appropriate place for competition. So the concept of winner-loser has been removed from the games in the Story and Stretch guide. And that just leaves fun, healthy opportunities for the kids to be active and to be social. And then finally, all of the games can be played with any age group with just slight modifications. So for instance, if you are playing Yogi Says with preschoolers, keep yourself in the role of the yogi who is calling out different poses for the group to get into, and make sure that you are modeling all the poses for them. If you're playing Yogi Says with middle schoolers, it's a lot of fun to have the role of yogi be passed around to different kids in the group who want to engage the game in that way. Most importantly, have fun. They're games. And let me know if you need any ideas of how to modify a particular game for a particular group. You can either post something as a comment on the Facebook page for the Story and Stretch book, which is www.facebook.com/Story and Stretch using seasonal stories. You can also contact me through my website, which is www.beombrella.com, and that's spelled BEOMBRELLA. And that's also where you can get your copy of the first Story and Stretch book today. So blessings on your journey. I hope to hear from you. Namaste and amen.